Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love, and this week I have an email from a woman who says, I'm so glad I discovered you. You're amazing. I just wish I knew you before I ruined a great relationship. Well, fear not, you discovered me now, and we're gonna fix this. Okay, I met this guy online. We totally hit it off. We had sex almost immediately, but I never thought he liked me. So there was your first mistake. Why would you have sex with someone that you're not even sure that they like you? I mean, if that's what you do with someone that you think doesn't like you, then I hate to think about what do you do with people that do like you? And also, why would you have sex right away? There's really no point. You want to show that you're a woman of high value, and women of high value generally do not have sex right away, especially with guys that they don't think that even like them. Okay, moving on. She said, we created a routine where he came over and stayed with me Thursday through Sunday every week. And there's mistake number 2. That's just too much time. Let's see, Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 3.5, that's like half the week. Again, a woman of high value has a life. She's got things going on. She doesn't start seeing someone and eventually, after a short time, have him come over every single weekend. You're saying, well, I have no life and I'm so needy that I'm just going to turn my life over to you and you're going to be the focal point. Guys don't want to be the center of attention in your life. They want you to have your own life. Okay, carrying on. He texted and called me every day. Good. He took my son and myself out to dinner all the time. He was so thoughtful and was always calling ahead to see what we wanted to do. So here's where I messed up. Okay, here we go. I've had so many failed relationships since my divorce in 2013, and once I started getting feelings for him, I began to do the relationship suicide. Yes, I talked about the self-fulfilling prophecy of being insecure in a previous podcast. So if you go back a few podcasts, you'll see I talked about insecurity, and the irony of it is that it actually causes the situation that you fear to come about. So she says, I broke every rule you teach. I double texted if he didn't respond. Yikes. I accused him of seeing someone else. Ugh. I texted my feelings. Ugh. I came across as needy. Ugh. You're killing me. Yes, those are all no-nos. Double texting. If someone doesn't respond, oh well. Whatever. Okay, you're not getting a second text. You do not double text unless it's for logistical purposes. You're supposed to meet them somewhere and, like I said, like where are you, or what's the address again, and you don't hear from them and you go, oh, I don't know if you got my text, blah, 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 blah. But anything else other than logistics, generally, you do not double text. Accuse them of seeing someone else, again, unless you have concrete proof not just circumstantial evidence that they're cheating, you better not accuse someone of cheating, because a lot of times that's your own insecurity. Texting your feelings, unless he asks you what your feelings are, you don't need to tell him. I'm sure he knows you like him. And, what are you trying to do by texting your feelings? He's supposed to be texting his feelings, if anything. You don't need to text your feelings. I'm sure he knows you like him. Okay. The sad part is he tried to work with me and reassured me many times, but for whatever reason, it wasn't enough. Yes, because of insecurity. It's like a hole that can never be filled, no matter what, no matter how he reassures you. Unless you fix that insecurity, it doesn't matter what he does. And every relationship that you are in or you are going to be in is not going to work out, because insecurity will always kill it. That's why you say you had many failed relationships, and you probably did the same thing. And as I've always said, everyone has a breaking point, and he will only try to work it out for so long, and then at some point everyone eventually just throws their hands up and goes, I can't do this anymore. She goes on to say, I tried texting every emotional reason to him why I did what I did. He said things would never be the same. That's right, because now he's seeing another side of you that's not attractive. He's got a lot going on with work and doesn't need to add more stress to his plate. For guys, work is priority. Peace of mind is priority. Women are willing to put up with less peace of mind if they have safety and security. But guys, they need to be focused on their work. They want to be focused on their work. And if you're going to add stress on top of that, then at some point they have to cut you loose. They want their relationship to be a safe haven where everything is calm and cool and they get away from the stresses of everyday life, not that it adds to the stress of everyday life. Moving on, I've since learned from you what and why I was doing these things, failed trust from my husband, and basically being dumb to dating. I was with my ex for 20 years, so he was basically all I knew. Yeah, so I can't really blame you too much because you didn't do a lot of dating. You're 40, so if you were together for 20 years, that means you got together at 20. So whatever knowledge you had of dating at 20, that's the knowledge you're working with now, because obviously you weren't learning about dating while you were married, I don't think. So you're almost like a 20-year-old. You're acting like a 20-year-old, even though you're 40, because that's mentally and emotionally where you are when it comes to dating. Not in general. I'm not saying you're immature. I'm just saying when it comes to dating and dating knowledge. The fact that he kept texting me after the breakup was confusing me. Well, because he didn't want to totally let go. It's not like you were incompatible or you cheated. It was just your insecurity. And he didn't want to let you go, but you basically forced his hand because he needs peace of mind. I sent a text to see if he wanted to hang out, and it took him a day to respond. Something told me to ask him if he wanted me to leave him alone. So again, there's that insecurity. Questions like, do you want me to leave you alone? Or if someone unfriends you on social media, you never ask them why they unfriended you. Because again, that comes across as insecure. Because if you're secure, you don't care. You're like, okay, he unfriended me. Okay, whatever. Or you would never think, oh, I wonder if he wants me to leave him alone. You would think, I am so wonderful. Why would anyone want me to leave them alone? And so you would never ask that. So you need to work on your confidence and your self-esteem. Because most times when there's issues with dating, it's not a dating issue, it's a self-esteem issue. Okay, so moving right along, he replied he wasn't looking for a serious relationship and we should both learn from this and move on. I took a day to text back because I had to think. I then tried to text that he was the one who kept mentioning relationship, not me, blah, 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 but he wasn't responding, so I just gave up. So when you say he wasn't responding, so you just gave up, again, that leads me to think that you kept texting several times, even though you waited a day. People say, oh, how long should I wait to send a text? It doesn't matter how long you wait. It's what you say when you actually send that text. It doesn't matter if you wait a week and then you send a text saying, well, you're the one that kept mentioning, you're trying to make it look like he's doing something wrong and he's not doing anything wrong. And again, that stems from insecurity. Okay, he still follows me on Snapchat and Instagram. My idea is that if I just lay low and continue to work on everything I did wrong and just get better at dating, that I'll learn for next time. Yes, you're absolutely right. How do I get this guy back? We had talked about him moving in once his lease was up in October. Well, I would strongly advise against that. First of all, you have a small child and you don't need to be living with a guy. If you have children, then the only person that's going to live with you, the only male that's going to live with you, besides a family member, is the guy you're married to. Because otherwise, you're teaching your child it's okay to just live together. Because living together is not a commitment. It's a convenience. Marriage is a commitment. So no living together. But that's not what you wrote to me for, so I'm not going to harp on with that. So I really hope you don't have anyone move in unless you're married. Okay. I don't know why I'm carrying around hope we'll get back together, but him following me on Snapchat and Instagram is why I do have hope. Does it mean anything that he hasn't deleted me? Yes, absolutely. It's good. He wants to see what you're up to. Is laying low and not posting anything going to work? I think that's a good idea because otherwise he can see what you're up to and then he won't miss you as much because he still feels like he's kind of a part of your life as long as he can see what you're up to. But if he has no idea what you're up to, then he feels the emptiness and loneliness of not having you there. So he'll miss you a lot more, and it might cause him to want to reach out. So definitely disappear. And she says, how can I show him, how can I show him that I've changed and learn from my mistakes? So, it takes time, obviously, to change and learn from your mistakes. But what you're going to do eventually, maybe in about a month or so, is you're going to write him a letter, and I would suggest you mail it, like the regular mail, snail mail, because otherwise with email, you never know if they absolutely got it, and then you're wondering, did he get it? Did he get it? So it's basically an apology letter, and you're going to say something like, I'm sorry for how I contributed to the unhappiness in our relationship. I realize now I said and did things that pushed you away. I'm working on myself. I'm reading relationship books. I'm asking experts for help. I'm talking to Lucia. No, you don't have to say that. I realize I've, pushed you away with my mistakes, and I'm interested in learning how I can be better next time, whether it be with you or someone else in the future. And then you might even make a little list of things you did wrong. Some of the mistakes I learned so far are, I did this, a little just bullet points. And, hope all is well with you. Take care. And then, if he wants to contact you, he will. You don't have to say, do you want to get together? You don't have to say that, because if he wants to give you a second chance, it has to be his idea. You can't ask for it. And keep in mind, it might take him up to 8 weeks, because he's going to go back and forth in his mind. Should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? And that's fine, because actually the more time he takes, the more time you have to work on your issues. So you'll be even better when he does contact you. So in the meantime, do not contact him at all, except for sending him that letter. And if you contact me, we can do some private coaching, and I can work on it with you. And then it's up to him, and we'll see what happens. All right. So if anyone has any questions about this or any other topics having to do with love, dating, and relationships, you can contact me at my website, theartoflove.net. And in the meantime, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.